We all love desserts, we all love sweet snacks, but we all know, unfortunately, especially when you get to my age, you can't really eat that much of it, especially if you're trying to be healthy. There are a lot of products nowadays that you can use as sugar replacements, but some of them are a little strange in terms of flavor, but I found a product that I really enjoy, and it bakes and it cooks just like sugar, so it's perfect for today's 2 mango recipes. I love cooking with mangoes because we are in the Philippines and there's a claim that we have the best mangoes in the world. There are a lot of really popular mango cakes all over the Philippines. The choices in terms of the different mango cakes that you can get are pretty much endless. So today I'm gonna try to make my own version of a mango Magnifico as well as a quick little mango Turon, and all of this with no sugar. Our secret weapon today is Natural's monk fruit natural sugar replacement. If you haven't used monk fruit before, it's actually one of the best sugar replacements out there. You get none of that weird aftertaste, and it does sweeten the dish just like sugar. And if I'm reading the nutrition facts, I love seeing this. It's all zeros. You got 0 calories, 0 grams of fat, you have 0 cholesterol, 0 sodium, 0 carbohydrate, 0 fiber, 0 sugar, and 0 protein. So it's a whole bunch of zeros. It's vegan, it's keto friendly, it's non-GMO, so it's really everything that you wish that it could be, and it gives you that really 100% natural sweetness that you're looking for from sugar. Turon is probably one of my favorite Filipino snacks, and with good reason. It's just so good, and it's something you can find really accessibly absolutely everywhere. And I thought it'd be really cool to do a version with mango and the pastry cream and then a monk fruit glaze right around it to get that nice crunchy Turon texture that we really love. The first thing you want to do is make that pastry cream. So get a pot out, add in some milk and your Natural's monk fruit until it simmers. Once that happens, take that off the heat. You're then gonna mix some cornstarch and some egg yolks together. It's really important we temper that mix, so you're first gonna gently pour in the milk with the egg yolks to make sure you're not cooking them and it doesn't become like a big fat omelet. Once all that's thoroughly mixed, you can throw it back in to your pot. Start on a low heat, and as you get more confident, you can bring up the heat as things kind of thicken up and get nice and glistening and kind of like shiny. Once you've got that texture that you want, where it really feels like something you could pipe and something nice and thick, you can go ahead and add in some butter and some vanilla essence. Let that cool completely before we use it. For our mango Turon, very simple. Go ahead and slice up your mangoes into nice little matchsticks. Then we're gonna place that with our spring roll wrappers. Make sure to use kind of like a diamond shape, but however you're comfortable rolling your Turon, you can do it in that way as well. Put a little bit of pastry cream, we're talking about maybe like 1 tablespoon here, and flatten it out. And then go ahead and pinch the sides, flip over, and seal with some water. Do a couple, and when you're ready, don't use these right away. It's really important to place them in the freezer for 15 to 20 minutes so that they harden just a little bit. Get some oil out, about 180 degrees Celsius should be perfect. Once you've hit that temperature, gently add in your Turon. This will be very, very, very quick, maybe 1 minute, 30 seconds per side, and then just flip it around once you get that nice brown texture and color that you want. Once that other side is cooked as well, go ahead and drain them on a paper towel. Last little thing we want to do, if you look at the product, it does feel very much like sugar. The major difference you'll see is that when you put it in the pan, it liquefies. So I thought it'd be cool to just use that liquid and brush that onto the Turon to give us a nice crunchy crust, and it worked perfectly. Once cooled down for a few minutes, it does harden up and crystallize. Mango Magnifico is such a great cake because it's like a light, fluffy chiffon, which you then cut into, add in some whipped cream there. You've got a nice little mango jam, some textures with some cashews, some peanuts, even some peanut brittle. And it just really feels like one of those perfect bite cakes that doesn't fill you up really crazily. It's quite straightforward to make, so first start off by preheating your oven to 325 Fahrenheit. Then you'll be sifting all your dry ingredients together to make sure that it's nice and fine. So here we're using 2 cups of cake flour, 1 1/2 cup of Natural's monk fruit, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. Then you're gonna take about 7 egg yolks and whisk that quite vigorously with half a cup of vegetable oil. Once it's combined, you can go ahead and gently stream in some water. It should be really nice and liquid at this point. Finally, take those egg whites and some cream of tartar and just beat it until you got nice stiff peaks. Whisk together your dry ingredients and your yolk mixture until you get a nice batter going. Don't overmix this, just really combine it. Then you're gonna gently add in your egg whites into that wet mixture. Do it in 3 to 4 kind of times. You can start off with your whisk just to gently incorporate some air, and then when you have a nice kind of combined mixture, you can go ahead and fold in 30% and 30% until you get to the last 30%, until you have a nice fluffy kind of mixture. That goes into your cake pan. Make sure to line that with some parchment paper. You're then gonna fill up 80% of the way up there. Grab it and then drop it onto the table 2 times to just make sure you're flattening it out as much as possible without killing the airiness that you worked so hard to build. That goes into the oven for about 40 minutes. You'll see that it doubles quite quickly. Do not be afraid of the top. If it cracks or it burns, we're gonna be evening all of that out and cutting it off after when we're plating. When baking, really important, do not open the oven door. When it's done baking, go ahead and turn off your oven. Leave the cake in there for 30 minutes to let it you and cool down. You don't want to shock it in some cold air. After that 30 minutes, you want to go ahead and take it out, and you're also going to let that rest a few minutes until it's nice and cool before cutting it. Once it's cooled down, time to even everything out. You can cut off the top, then we're gonna cut it right in the middle as evenly as possible. I'm usually not the best at this. Then you have 2 even sides. You can let that rest a few more minutes if you feel like the inside is still too warm to the touch. For our mango jam, really simple. You're gonna grab some cubed up mangoes. Try to get the sweetest mangoes that you can actually have. And then you're gonna add in some of our naturals monk fruit and really just mash everything together. Bring it to simmer, boil it out, mash it, mash it, mash it until it becomes kind of like a jammy, thick consistency. Let that cool completely as well. Finally, when you have all the elements together, grab your base and then spread on some whipped cream. You can then add in some mangoes. We're also using some crushed up peanuts and some crushed up cashews just to give us some nice texture. Really carefully place the top layer back on, and then you're gonna cover that with more whipped cream. At this point, you can freestyle and do whatever you want to make it look much better than what I did, but you can go ahead and kind of just like make sure you have a nice thin layer of whipped cream all over the cake. Then you can place in some extra mango jam on top and then kind of just add some more whipping cream and pipe it if you want to make it look really pretty, and then dust it off with more nuts. Moment of truth, time to taste everything. Let's start with the turon. That crunchiness from the turon wrapper, perfect. So good. This was our perfect one. This was our collapsed little soldier. Doesn't matter, it still looks really beautiful. If I were you, keep this in the fridge a tad bit longer so you get something that's nice and solid. Beautiful layers, holds perfectly. I mean, you try these and the first thing that comes to mind is this must be extremely unhealthy. But this has 0 sugar. It's just as sweet as sugar, and every element that we made here today used the naturals monk fruit, natural sugar replacement, and it's delicious. Like, it works perfectly. So if you're looking for the perfect dessert for the holidays, or if you're looking to be extremely healthy in January of 2022, try out these recipes. I'm sure you'll love them.